Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to the online CET, NEET and JEE classes. Students, in this video I am going to discuss synopsis part of the one of very important chapter, your first PUC chapter, that is classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Students, first you just recall and revise some very important concepts which are very useful for your competitive exams like CET, NEET, JEE, etc. Students, first I take one of the very important concept related to law of trades. Yes, what is this law of trades? Remember, according to this law, in a set of three elements in which atomic weight of middle element is the mean atomic mass of other two elements. Yes, remember, according to the law of trades, elements were placed in a group of three and they were called trades. These were placed in the increasing order of their atomic masses. And Newland octaves are also called as law of octaves. According to this law, the elements, when arranged in the increasing order of their atomic masses, then every eighth element has similar properties to the first element. The relationship was just like every eighth note that resembles the first in octaves of music. Let's see here some examples. First I take example for law of trades. Here lithium, sodium, potassium. Yes, you know the atomic mass of lithium is 7 and sodium is 23 and potassium is 39. As add first one and last one atomic mass of particular element, that is 7 plus 39 divided by 2, therefore the total value is 23. 7 plus 39 divided by 2, that is 23. It is the atomic mass of middle element sodium. Similarly, other examples: calcium, strontium, barium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Yes, these are examples for Dobrynaya state. Yes, in the next column, in the next table, you observe the examples for Newland's trade. Every eighth element has the same properties of first element. As here hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. Similarly, fluorine, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine. As students, see here in the bottom side, fluorine and chlorine, they have similar properties and they comes under in a same group. These are also called as halogens. Next, Mendeleev's periodic law. Students, it states that, what is Mendeleev's periodic law? It states that the properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic mass. Remember, during this time the elements are arranged in the order of their atomic masses. According to this law, the properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses or atomic weight. Students, remember, Mendeleev arranged the elements in horizontal rows and vertical columns of a table in order of their increasing atomic weight. Yes, Mendeleev he left gaps under silicon and aluminium, and those were known as Eka aluminium and Eka silicon. But later it was discovered that Eka aluminium had similar properties to gallium. Remember, Eka aluminium means gallium and Eka silicon means germanium. According to modern periodic law, you remember this definition point: physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic number. This one is the modern periodic law. Yes, modern periodic law, it was discovered by Henry Moseley. Therefore, it is also called as Moseley's periodic table. In presence of modern periodic table, the elements are arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. Yes, students, if you want to know about more, if you know about modern periodic law, students, if you want to know more about modern periodic law, just recall these points. Here the elements are arranged in a increasing order of their atomic number. It has 18 vertical columns called as groups and 7 horizontal rows are called as periods. Just see the structure in the concept. The elements with similar properties placed in a same group and have same general formula. That's a very important point. The elements with similar properties are placed in a same group and have same general formula. Students, group 1 elements are called as alkali metals. Group 2 elements are called as alkaline earth metals. Yes, remember, group 1 elements are called as alkali metals and its electronic configuration is rare gas NS1. Is division of the periodic table. Next concept, the periodic table is mainly divided into 4 blocks. I think you already know about these 4 blocks. One is S block, another one is P as well as D and F block elements. As first you observe about S block elements. What are these S block elements? Students, S block elements, group 1 and group 2 elements are called as S block element. Here the differentiating electron enters into the S orbital. Means last electron enters into the S orbital. While writing the electronic configuration of S block element, the last electron means electronic configuration ends with S orbital. Students, already you know group 1 means alkali metals and group 2 alkaline earth metals, which has electronic configuration of NS1 and NS2. Outermost electronic configuration belongs to this particular S block elements. Students, they are all reactive metals with low ionization enthalpy. Remember, group 1 and group 2 elements are all reactive metals with low ionization enthalpy. They lose outermost electron readily to form +1 ion in the case of alkali metals and +2 ion in case of alkaline earth metals. Very important point, the metallic character and the reactivity increases as we go down the group. Because of high reactivity, they are never found in nature. Students, the compounds of S block elements with exception of those of lithium, beryllium, predominantly ionic. As next, P block elements. What are P block elements? The P block elements are the elements in which the differentiating or lost electron enters into the p block. The last electron enters into the p orbital. While writing the electronic configuration of one particular element, if the last electron enters into the p orbital, then that element belongs to p block. Here the outermost electronic configuration varies from ns to np1 to ns to np6. In each period, at the end of each period is a noble gas element with a closed valence shell. Remember, from group 13 to group 18, elements belongs to this p block. And usually the p block elements, it contains non-metals. It means non-metallic character increases as we move from left to right across a period, and metallic character increases as we go down the group. As next, d block elements. What are d block elements? Elements in which the d orbitals are completely filled are called d block elements. Or d block elements are also defined as the last or differentiating electron enters into the d orbital. While writing the electronic configuration of one particular element, here the last electron enters into the d orbital. General electronic configuration of d block elements is n-1 d 1 to 10 ns 1 to 2. Usually d block elements have certain properties. They show catalytic properties because they act as a catalyst, and these d block elements forms several colored ions. And d block elements shows usually paramagnetic properties and form several number of complexes. Remember students, these d block elements are also called as transition metals, as they are placed between metals and non-metals, and also due to their characteristic features. D block elements are also called as transition metals. Remember. Next, another type of block of elements, F block elements. The elements in which the last or differentiating electron enters into the f orbital. Here f orbital is completely filled. Then general electronic configuration is ns2 n-1 d0 to 1 n-2 f1 to 10. Remember students, in presence of f block elements, the electron enters into the anti-penultimate cell. Therefore use n-2 n-1 etc. Remember, these f block elements are also called as inner transition metals. They have incomplete d orbital electronic configuration in their normal state and in their oxidation state. Usually these f block elements are radioactive. As some very important trends in physical properties. What are those trends? See here. In that first one, atomic radius, next ionic radius, another one ionization enthalpy, next oxidation state, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, chemical reactivity, etc. See one by one. First I take atomic radius or ionic radius. Yes, what is this atomic radius, students? It is defined as distance between the center of the nucleus and outermost cell of electrons. What is atomic radius? It is defined as the distance between the center of the nucleus and outermost cell of electron. In that there are two types, one is covalent radius, another one metallic radius. What is covalent radius? It is the half of the distance between the nuclei of two identical atoms joined by a single covalent bond in a molecule. Similarly, if you take metallic radius, it is the half of the distance between nuclei of two adjacent metal atoms in a metallic crystal. Students, atomic size generally decreases across the period as for the elements of the second period. It is because within the period the outer electrons are in the same valence shell and the effective nuclear charge increases as the atomic number increases. As remember how the ionic size or atomic size increases or decreases along the group and period now. Students, atomic radius. Down the group, the number of principal cells increases. Remember, down the group, the number of principal cells increases. Therefore, the distance between the nucleus and the outermost cell of an electron increases. Therefore, effective nuclear charge decreases if atomic radius increases down the group. Along the period, the electrons are added to the orbitals of the same cell. As if you move from left to right, means along the period the electrons are added up to the orbitals of the same cell. Here effective nuclear charge increases. Effective nuclear charge increases, hence atomic radius decreases along the period. Remember, down the group atomic radius increases and along the period atomic radius decreases. Next, variation of this atomic size to that of the alkali metals. See here, I already told you down the group atomic size increases. As if you take an example of group 1 elements, means alkali metals, here lithium, sodium, potassium, they shown with increasing atomic size of particular element. As lithium, here its value is 152 as it is in the picometer, and sodium it is 186, potassium 231, rubidium 244 and cesium 262. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, all these are very reactive elements, comes under group 1. Similarly, group 2, another type of example related to halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. As next, ionic radius. Already you know what is ionic radius. The removal of an electron from an atom results in the formation of cation, whereas gain of electron leads to the anion. Means the radius, it is observed in presence of ions. A cation is always smaller than its parent atom, while anion is always greater to its parent atom. Remember this point, very important. A cation is always smaller than its parent atom, while anion is always greater to its parent atom. This is due to electron-electron repulsion. And I think you already know about isoelectronic species also. What are isoelectronic species? The ions which contains the same number of electrons are called as isoelectronic species. One very important point you remember, size is inversely proportional to atomic number. Mention or note down this point. Size is inversely proportional to atomic number. Remember, the cation with the greater positive charge, cation with the greater positive charge will have a smaller radius because of greater attraction of the electrons to the nucleus. An ion with greater negative charge will have the larger radius. In this case, the net repulsion of the electrons will outweigh the nuclear charge, and the ion will be expand in the size. Next, ionization energy, or also called as ionization enthalpy. Yes, what is ionization enthalpy? See my point. The amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron from an isolated gaseous atom is called as ionization energy. The amount of energy required to remove the outermost electron from an isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Remember students, ionization energy, usually its unit is joule per mole, or also expressed in presence of kilojoule per mole. Students, one very important point related to this ionization enthalpy: the energy is always required to remove the electrons from an atom, hence ionization enthalpy is always positive. The second ionization enthalpy will be higher than the first ionization enthalpy because it is very more difficult to remove the electron from positively charged ion than from neutral atom. In the same way, the third ionization enthalpy will be higher than the second, and so on. The term ionization enthalpy, if not qualified, is taken as the first ionization enthalpy. Students, energy is always required to remove the electrons from an atom, and ionization enthalpy is always positive. Yes, already you know this point. Second ionization enthalpy is higher than the first ionization enthalpy because it is very difficult to remove the electron from an positively charged ion than from neutral atom. Yes, next another concept, that is about shielding effect. What is this shielding effect? Shielding effect, this one is also called as screening effect also. So just recall the definition point. The inner electrons, they are always try to shield the outermost electrons from the nuclear force of attraction. That is the point. Inner electrons are always try to shield the outermost electron from the nuclear force of attraction. This is known as shielding or screening effect. For example, in the same subcell of p electrons, will get shielded away by the s electron, as p electron is away from the influence of nucleus, hence it does not experience a complete positive charge. Next, electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy, are also called as electron affinity. What is this electron affinity? It is defined as the amount of energy released. Yes, just recall the point. What is electron affinity, students? It is defined as the amount of energy released when an electron or extra electron is added to the outermost cell of an isolated gaseous atom. Students, electron gain enthalpy, it provides a measure of the easy with which an atom adds to an electron to form an anion. Depending on the element, the process of adding an electron to an atom can be either endothermic or exothermic. Noble gases have large positive electron gain enthalpy. Remember this point. Group 18 elements are also called as noble or rare gases shows large positive electron gain enthalpy because the electron has to enter the next higher principal quantum level, leading to a very unstable electronic configuration. See this point. As a general rule, electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative with the increase in the atomic number across a period. Electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative with the increase in the atomic number along the period. The effective nuclear charge increases from left to right because electron enters into the same cell across a period, and consequently it will be easier to add an electron to a smaller atom, since the added electron on an average would be closer to the positive charged nucleus. As next, electronegativity. As what is this electronegativity? First, you know the definition point of this electronegativity. It is the ability of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Yes, what is electronegativity? It is the ability of an atom to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself is called as electronegativity. Or it is also defined as a qualitative measure of the ability of an atom in a chemical compound to attract the shared pair of electrons. Remember, fluorine has the highest electronegativity value of 4. Remember, one of the more electronegative element in the periodic table, that is fluorine. Therefore, it is one of the most electronegative element present in our periodic table. Students, when in presence of periodic table, remember, non-metallic elements have strong tendency to gain electrons. Non-metallic elements have strong tendency to gain electron. Therefore, electronegativity is directly related to non-metallic properties. Similarly, decrease in electronegativity down the group. Decrease in electronegativity down the group is accompanied by a decrease in non-metallic properties, the elements. Next, oxidation states. Yes, what is this oxidation state? It is the charge present on the species. The valence equals to the number of electrons present in the outermost cell. Remember, the term oxidation state interchangeably means valency. Students, fluorine has the oxidation state of -1. When you observe the oxidation state rules, in that we know fluorine means F, it has always -1 oxidation state, but in compounds like OF2 it exhibits +2 oxidation state. Oxidation state determines the oxidation number of particular element. Chemical reactivity. Students, I think you know about the diagonal relationship. What is this diagonal relationship? It is the similarities, or this process shows similarities between the first element of a group with the second element in the next group. This characteristic property is shown by S and P block respectively. If you take an example, lithium and magnesium shows similar properties, so they also shows the diagonal relationship. Next, beryllium and aluminium, boron and silicon, these are all shows diagonal relationship. Helium anomalous behavior is attributed to their small size, large charge and high electronegativity of elements. Remember student, when you observe the first element of a respective group, it shows some different properties other than the other elements present in similar group. Means it shows anomalous properties. If you take an example, 13th group elements, boron is the first member, therefore this group is also called as boron family. Boron shows several anomalous properties when compared with other group elements. As a consequence of this, maximum covalency of the first member of each group is 4, whereas other members of the groups can expand their valency. Means they shows variable oxidation state. The first member of p block elements displays greater ability to form p5 multiple bonds to itself. If you take an example, carbon double bond, carbon triple bond, and nitrogen atoms with double bond, nitrogen atoms with triple bond. Students, metallic character or metallic property decreases from right to left, whereas non-metallic character increases from left to right. Very important. Metallic property decreases from right to left, whereas non-metallic character increases from left to right. This is due to addition of electrons in various orbitals. This is due to addition of electrons in various orbitals. Students, elements which combines on two extremes of the periodic table form oxides like peroxides and superoxides. In periodic table, we observe different type of element. Here some are acidic, basic and neutral. Or also some elements are act as a amphoteric oxides. Metal form basic oxides, non-metal form acidic oxides. As students see here, this periodic table chart, it shows where the respective elements are present. Group 1 elements are called as alkali metals, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium comes under this particular group. Next, group 2 elements are called as alkaline earth metals, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium takes place in this group. And group 3 to group 12 elements are belongs to transition metals, or also called as D block elements, and group 17 elements are called as halogens, and from group 13 to group 18 elements belongs to P block, you know already, and 18th group elements are called as noble gases. There is in the bottom side lanthanides and actinides observed. As some features of long form of periodic table, remember, I think you know these basic concepts. Periodic table contains elements arranged in the increasing order of their atomic number. Remember, it explains the position of an element in relation to the other elements. And you know, periodic table, it consists of groups and periods. What are groups? The vertical columns which are present in a chart are called as groups. There are total 18 number of groups from group 1 to group 18, and elements in a group have similar but not identical electronic configuration as well as properties, and the horizontal columns present in a periodic table are called as periods. There are total 7 number of periods present in periodic table, and the particular period contain 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32 and 28 elements in respectively. Yes, in that first I take S block elements. You already know what are S block elements, why they are called as alkali as well as alkaline earth metals. Once again, see here, general electronic configuration of S block elements is NS1 or NS2. Means here the S orbital contains 1 or 2 electron. All are metals. See this very important point. S block elements are metals. They have low ionization energy and low melting and boiling points, and these are very reactive elements. Some merits of periodic table. What are these? Some uses of this periodic table. Students, based on more fundamental basis, the atomic number. This periodic table is based on the atomic number, and by using this periodic table you easily know position of element, because similar properties of the elements are placed in a similar group. Position of an element is related to the electronic configuration of its atom. Due to separation of elements into groups, dissimilar elements do not fall together. There are some defects of long form of this periodic table. As periodic table, it is unable to include lanthanoids and actinides in its main body, because these actinides and lanthanides are observed at the bottom side of the periodic table. The problem of the position of hydrogen in the table has not been solved completely. Configuration of helium is difficult or different from inert gases. Remember, configuration of helium is different from inert gases but are placed in the same group. Yes, these are some defects observed in presence of periodic table. Students, another very important point, nomenclature of the elements which having atomic number greater than 100. While giving the name of a particular element which having atomic number more than 100, as see this point, while writing the name I take first digits name, and one of the common word IUM is used. Students, remember this chart. I take here 3 subparts. One is digit and another one name and abbreviation. If your value contains 0, then the word nil is used and simply indicated by N. And if the digit is 1, and use the word un. If it is 2, by. If 3, try. 4, quad. 5, fent. 6, hex. 7, sept. 8, oct. 9, n. Yes, now I want to write the IUPAC or nomenclature of the elements. Nomenclature of element which having atomic number 115. How it is named? Yes, 1 means I use un, plus another one 1, un, and 5 pent. In common word IUM is used. Therefore, the nomenclature of the element is unpentium. Yes, some examples are given in this particular chart. If I take an example 108, observe the name of 108 element 1 means I used un, and 0 means nil, and 8 means oct, and common word IUM. Therefore, name of this element becomes un-nil octium. Similarly, if I take 115, then the name is un-pentium, etc. Yes, students, based on all these properties, one of the famous scientists, Moseley, he proposed one very useful periodic table containing 18 group elements with 7 rows, and similar properties of the elements comes under in a similar group. Because of this point, we easily separate the element and know the position of particular element. Students, this is some synopsis part of this very important chapter, and in the next video we will solve multiple choice questions on this particular chapter. Thank you.